Puck Social. Here we are. We are here.
In your eardrums?
I guess before we start, let's catch up, Rachel. It's been a busy week, I think, for both of us. Haven't had a chance to talk too much. How you doing?
I'm doing well. We got new memory cards. So, little behind the scenes. Last week, we recorded our first ever episode.
Well, yeah, of like Puck Social.
Of Puck Social. And
we've recorded hundreds of episodes together before.
We went to take the memory cards out.
Who's this we?
We as in me.
Who's
Rachel.
This we? Rachel went to go take... No, don't put that evil. Who's this? Oh, we. Okay, yeah. No, Rachel went to go take the memory card out of the camera and snapped it in half.
You watched me do it. It was just normal. It just went...
On its own.
And Mike and I looked at each other and had just like this moment of like...
I'm like, I got stuff to do. I can't wait around to go to like Shoppers Drug Mart or something, pick up a crappy memory card that and then come back. Thankfully, it was able to keep itself together a little bit, and we managed to get through last episode. But that's what podcasting's all about, baby. It's about adapting on the fly.
So we've got video. If you want to watch the video portion of the podcast, you could do that on our YouTube page, but it also means that we're going to have like fun little clips, which is great. But yeah, the memory card snapping in half on the first episode has to be some kind of bingo.
It was just like, if anything was bound to happen, it was that, I think.
I mean, you know what? The mics worked.
Yeah.
The lights worked. The laptops worked.
You know what? That's fine.
So at least we had an episode, and last week, we had a ton of fun.
Yeah.
We're probably not going to be as ridiculous this week, but
Maybe.
I feel like we're still...
We'll see.
The change this week is Mike did all the prep and elected not to tell me anything.
I think I'm going to do that moving forward unless you have things that you absolutely want to add to the prep.
I love it.
I think from now on, I'm going to keep you in the dark until we record, so you are forced to react and comprehend the things that I want to talk about.
I can't wait.
So every week it's all right. What's good about the Batman this week? This week, all right, why Florence Pugh is the most beautiful woman in the world. Okay. Which by the way, for Mike's movie review, I did see We Live in Time.
Okay.
The Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield movie, and I will get into it in our movie review this week. But goodness gracious, I would recommend it. Go out if you want to be sad, happy, happy sad.
Okay.
It's like a Notebook kind of sad.
I'm in.
It's one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen in my life, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a supportive husband. I'm saying that because
Mike is a husband.
Anyway,
his wife came back
to Florence Pugh. She's my beautiful wife. Anyway, Rachel.
Moving on.
Anyway, she's my beautiful wife, and I love her to death. Anyway, moving on. Frozen Frenzy happened. Which means the NHL had all 32 teams playing in one day, 16 games, staggered start times.
Round of applause for the staggered starts.
As is the case, however, with the NHL, is that, what's the day that you would associate with the NHL? The day of the week?
Saturday.
Yes. What day did they do Frozen Frenzy on?
Tuesday.
So... I get maybe it would be tough scheduling wise because teams have to share arenas with NBA teams, but you're telling me there's not one Saturday on the calendar.
So I thought about this. I think the NHL knocked it out of the park with the idea of Frozen Frenzy, because if you think about NFL Red Zone, which you and I
love,
is appointment television.
It's the only way I watch football other than with my dad. If I'm watching it alone, I watch it on Red Zone.
That's me with my brother.
Yeah.
So, with Red Zone, Scott Hansen, first of all.
Great.
GOAT. They knocked it out of the park with the concept of the idea. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing, though.
The concept of the idea.
I
know, with the concept, yes.
So, Sunday, you're not doing it because NFL exists.
Yeah.
Saturday, primarily, the reason you want Frozen Frenzy is because that attracts new fans. Mm-hmm. Because the highlight show. Well, Saturday in the U.S.
It's college football?
It's college football. Yeah. So you really can't do it Saturday. So what I think now that I've had a night to think about it, could actually be very cool is you do it on a Friday night. So you pick one Friday night a month, let's say, and it's Frozen Frenzy Friday. FFF. And all 32 teams play, but instead of it being like random teams, have 3 or 4 rivalry games. Have Leafs and Sens. Yeah. Have Rangers Islanders. Have Detroit Chicago. Like, maybe what you do is, because some teams with the conference realignments don't get to play as much anymore, like Detroit and Chicago, who used to be arch rivals. Maybe you do a couple of marquee matchups instead of these like random matchups. But I think the idea itself is really good.
No, it's a phenomenal idea. Like, it should have. The thing is, it should have happened years ago. Like, and I'm glad that it finally did. You know, like Jeff Merrick always says, the best time to plant a tree was 200 years ago. The second best time is now. You know, like it obviously, hindsight is 2020. It should have happened, you know, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago.
Jeff should just fire up ice surfing again.
Well, it's funny because Amazon now has that. Like, I can't remember what it's called. It's like Flip Around or something.
Speaking of which,
oh yeah,
can we touch on that?
Hold on. Okay, so I don't want to toot my own horn too much.
Okay.
And I very, very rarely do.
Toot.
But there was an article written about a tweet of mine over the weekend.
Excuse me?
By Jonah YYZ Media.
Oh, yes.
Because I was watching Hockey Night in Canada, and I just went, what the hell happened to this thing? Like, what? Hockey Night in Canada used to be appointment, like, it used to be core memory.
Sit your booty on the couch and watch hockey.
Like, I remember, like, my friends and I, like, we would count down the days until Saturday. It would be, you know, like, I remember I used to not be allowed to, like, I used to be allowed to only stay up until the first intermission. And then I would you know, go upstairs, like, to bed. But I always knew my dad would fall asleep on the couch, so I'd sneak back down, watch the rest of the game, sneak back up. He'd have no idea. He now knows, but he had no idea. Like Hockey Night in Canada used to be the thing.
And I'll admit, and, like, obviously times have changed, but Coach's Corner, when we were children...
Oh, yeah, when we were children.
Appointment television.
Well, when we were children...
You sat down, and, like, in my house, you were not even allowed to speak.
Yeah, it's like, everyone shut up.
Like, don't speak. And then by the time we got to be, like, teenagers, it was like, all right, this is no longer a great idea.
Well, it's also, like, when I was a kid, I didn't understand what xenophobia was.
I didn't know what that word was.
I didn't understand, like, racism or anything like that. To the degree that we do now. So, like, all I really heard, and all kids really heard, at least, like, kids who weren't being part of a group that was being specifically targeted by Don Cherry on Canada's national television channel, which is
it used to be on the CBC, which is like the Canadian equivalent of CNN.
Yeah, no, it's state television.
Yeah.
So CNN's not state television. Like this is like Government of Canada. This is their.
It's called the Canadian Broadcasting
Corporation.
Canadian
Yeah, it's the Government of Canada's, like, TV network. And Don Cherry would come on there, and every once in a while, he would say something so incredibly racist.
Outrageous.
Yeah. However, but, like, even, like, Satellite Hot Stove, the intro, the montages beforehand, now the product is cooked. I'm sorry, it sucks.
It's terrible.
Even the things, like, first of all, and the reason why this sort of, like, came into my head was I covered 3 years. I covered the Leafs for 3 years.
And you were on the Marlies beat for a long time before that.
Yes, but I covered the Leafs, specifically the Leafs, for 3 years. I was in that arena every night for every home game for 3 years. I know what the crowd sounds like. On TV, I am now fully, like, tinfoil hat, fully convinced Sportsnet mutes the crowd to a certain extent at Leafs games.
So I asked somebody in broadcasting about this because on Amazon has Monday nights in Canada because Rogers sold off the rights. First of all, shout out to friend of the show, Andy Petrillo.
Everyone involved in that show is doing great.
At John Forsland, immediately, yes.
Like,
incredible.
Yeah.
the thing I like about Amazon is because they're not a telecom, they're not owned by a telecom, there isn't this rigidity to the broadcast. They can have more fun. They can experiment with things. And right now, obviously, it's only been 2 or 3 weeks. I really like the product. And Gary Bettman, as much as we rightfully dump on the NHL for being archaic, Gary Bettman did nail his assessment of streaming services. And that is that our generation and our younger generation is not subscribing to cable TV. They are doing streaming services. And Amazon is one of the premium ones in Canada because obviously we don't have ESPN Plus here. And so when you think about the difference between, like, I look at it, if I'm ranking the broadcasts now, it's Amazon, TSN,
definitely,
and then Sportsnet. And
then 50 feet of crap, and then it's Sportsnet.
And the thing is like, I absolutely love Chris Cuthbert.
Hey, I do too.
But I think, generally speaking, the broadcast that Sportsnet does, you can tell they're being put in a box.
Oh, yeah. I like a lot of the players on the Columbus Blue Jackets, for example. I still think they suck ass as a team.
But Damon,
like Damon Severson, I love him.
Sean Monahan,
Kent Johnson, like all those guys. Love them.
Yeah.
But that team sucks. And I think the same way with Sportsnet. Like Hockey Night in Canada, like it has by the way, who the hell thought it was a good idea to have the intermission panel a circular table where half the time you're seeing the back of people's heads?
Okay, I also have this question.
What the was that? Like who I want to know. Cuz I know I've been I've been in Rogers before. I know what the corporate sort of like process is like.
I've been in that studio numerous times.
And I know there's so many. I can't I just imagine how just
and
ridiculously
their non-Saturday set is a panel.
Yeah.
Like the TSN set. Just, I don't know, dude. So,
but
back to Frozen
Frenzy.
Why
I bring that up, though, is Frozen Frenzy, like Amazon, all that, it was so good. Like they pretty much, it sucks that in Canada, you basically give anyone a shot at producing a hockey game that isn't the rights holder, and they knock it out of the park. Amazon had ambient, just like steady cam warm-up footage.
And people were like,
this is so much better. And you know what? Another thing, too, is I don't want to be a Leafs homer. But it's nice to hear a broadcast that can acknowledge that the Leafs are pretty good.
I know, like, last night on Twitter, like, Mike Johnson, former Leaf, also, like, this is a fully Mike Johnson fan podcast.
Yeah, we love Mike Johnson.
He, like, rightfully criticized the Leafs for playing
they played like
terribly.
Last night, yeah.
But he also pointed out that generally speaking, under Craig Berube, they have been so much better defensively. And it was funny because in the pregame, James Duthie joked, he's like, that was the first time we've done 20 minutes of positivity on the Leafs. And it's going to be great when they come out flat. And lo and behold, they came out and got down 3-0. But the thing is they were doing that pregame. I thought it was fantastic. Cheryl Pounder had great breakdowns. Jeff O'Neill had great breakdowns of what the Leafs were doing positively. And the thing is that shouldn't be shocking.
It shouldn't be a surprise. It should be the standard.
Meanwhile, we have other broadcasts where it's like their team will be like 10th place in the standings, and they're talking about all of these fantastic things that are happening with the team. And it's like, excuse me.
Look at Nesson. Look at, like, literally...
Jack Edwards.
But, like, even look at, like, the Sportsnet, like what's it called?
Sportsnet Vancouver, Sportsnet Calgary.
Sportsnet Edmonton. Like,
my God.
Like, Gene Principe basically, like, makes... And I love Gene Principe, but he basically tongue kisses every player when he interviews them. Like, it's...
I love Gene Principe
I love him, too.
So much.
But, like, it's just not the same.
But I agree with you. It was really nice.
Yeah.
First of all, John Forslund he's
fantastic.
One of the best play-by-play commentators. If I could have a Christmas wish for commentary, I want Kevin Harlan to call a Leafs game. Because if you're not familiar with who Kevin Harlan is, he is one of the best US-based sports commentators going right now.
Yeah.
He does NCAA basketball, NBA basketball, NFL football.
Yeah.
He is the guy, if you look up the clip of the drunk guy running on the sideline.
Or the cat.
And the commentator narrating it is Kevin Harlan.
Or
I want him to do a Leaf game.
Or the cat that got on the field at the Giants game. And
Yes!
Yeah, like Kevin Harlan at one point called 2 games at the same time because they botched a highlight break.
Right.
So he called the game he was calling, and then he also did the highlights, like the live score update. Like it's incredible. But yeah, I thought it was like phenomenally executed. Like I don't know why they don't stutter these start times all the time.
Let's talk about that.
Okay.
You clearly can stagger start times.
Or stagger, yeah.
If you have the build, there's not, unless you're the Clippers, and certainly not during, like, on a weekday. Weekend, different. But you're not, like, unless you're sharing the Staples Center, so the Clippers, the Lakers, the Kings, there's only one event that happens in the building that day. So you can start a game at 7:15. You can start a game at 7:30. You can start a game at 7:45. You can start a game at 8. So I look at it and I'm like, okay, during the week, I understand you're not starting a game at 5 o'clock. That's silliness.
Yeah.
On the weekend, there is absolutely no excuse to not have 12, 1, 2:30, 3:30, 4, and then you know what? Have a marquee game at 4. Take your break for the pregame. Have 2 or 3 marquee games start at 7, right? And then go 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock, 9:30. Nothing after 9:30.
Yeah.
That's 6:30 on the West Coast. I'm sorry, San Jose, Vancouver.
No, but they're fine with that.
All of you people, Saturday nights, y'all can get to in a rink for 6:30
It's not like you're coming from work. And then, or
that's my point.
Yeah, I mean, people work on the weekends, but still, yeah.
I understand on the weekdays you want games to start at 7, and that's fine. But even then, you can still have 7, 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8:30. Like, you can do that.
Yeah.
And so I think that's something where I like the concept of Frozen Frenzy. I think Frozen Frenzy Fridays once a month would be really cool. But generally speaking, the practice of staggering start times, we have been discussing this for years.
Everyone has.
And now we see it in practice and what it can look like. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's also really nice to see, like, I don't know, just, first of all, it's nice to watch hockey when the sun is out. I like that.
That's cool.
I like games that start a bit early. But also, like, for example, even with like for San Jose, their airport closes at like 11:30 local time.
Right, so there should be no reason why you're not playing a game at 6 o'clock.
So, like, there are teams that have been like stuck in San Jose because because the game goes to overtime and they can't make it to the airport.
When I worked for the Devils, we got stuck in San Jose.
Like, why the hell are we like doing this? So it's crazy. Anyway, Lululemon came out with that, and Fanatics came out like, and we talked about this last episode, but like I hate to give it up for Fanatics, but we got to give it up because they partner with Lululemon. Some of the fits look great.
Sty, no sty?
Sty for sure. And what I liked about it is it's an apparel partnership, and the players posed with their significant others.
Okay, that might be my favorite part of the collab. One, there's equal. So I asked somebody involved. There's equal men's and women's apparel available.
Great.
Right off the hop, excellent job. 2, Lululemon, high quality clothing. This is not clothing that's gonna peel off in the laundry. But the whole thing about posing with their significant others, I thought was awesome because not only is it a great way of showcasing both the men's and women's apparel, but it's also subliminally, it markets like you can get it for yourself and for your significant other. There's something for everyone. And generally speaking, I think that's a great message to send because historically the NHL has done so much more men's apparel. Like, I remember when I worked for the Devils in 2017 to 2019, and we would order, like, team order stuff. And I worked in hockey operations, and there was myself, a woman in PR, a woman in finance, and 2, like, administration people. There are 5 women within our department that really couldn't get apparel because the options for Fanatics, as our equipment guy said, were so bad that he didn't want us to be seen wearing it. Yikes. Obviously, Fanatics, to their credit, has done a great job of adding apparel options. But now I look at that and this was my first thought when I saw the collaboration was there's more women in front offices now, and now teams are going to be able to do orders, and they're going to have women's cuts for the same things. And I think that's not only is that inclusive, I think that's awesome.
Well, I mean, every team facility has a kitchen, right?
Yes, true.
So the people who work there, they got to have something to wear.
Mike is on it today. He's so sassy.
Listen.
Usually
I think
I'm
it's
the
great.
sassy one.
Yeah, but you don't usually make the sexist jokes.
No.
No, but I think that's great.
We're
the
getting some.
The fact that you worked for the team and there were there were barely any options for you
And
to
it's not like I was in the ticketing department.
No. You worked in the front office and they were like, "Oh, sorry, we have this crop top. Do you want to wear this crop top that says slut on the back?"
Okay. There was this one thing that I'll never forget. And God bless Ray Shiro. So I was freezing one day in the practice rink because Ray has this rule. It carried over from the Lou Lamoriello regime.
Oh, great.
If you're an executive in the front office, you have to wear a dress shirt or a suit every day.
Yeah.
In July, you have to do it. Like, if you got to wear a golf shirt, it was like, oh,
It's casual Friday.
Golf shirt today. And dress shoes. There were no running shoes, like, absolutely not.
That would suck.
I like dressing up, so, like, it didn't necessarily bother me. But when you're standing in the practice rink, I'm freezing. So at one point, the Zamboni guy saw me freezing. And so he went and got me his jacket, which, like, super kind thing to do. Shout out.
Chivalrous.
The former ice tech for the Devils.
Whose e-bug is he?
He's not an e-bug, that I
Okay.
can assure you. But then Ray was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Well, I don't have a jacket." He's like, "Oh, like, let's go to the locker room. We'll get you, like, a team-issued jacket." Because he's like, "I can't have you walking around."
Yeah.
Whatever. The cut was so big that the jacket went halfway down my thigh. And Ray was like, "We can't even hem this. This is terrible." So he goes, "Frosty, I need you to get her a jacket." And Frosty looked at me. He goes, "They don't make it."
Who's Frosty?
Frosty's the equipment guy.
Okay.
So
You have to say those things, Rachel.
Frosty is the Devil's equipment guy. And he goes, "They don't have any." And Ray's like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
So I ended up wearing this, like, jacket that went halfway down my thighs. And I never got Devil's apparel that was a women's cut for the entirety of the time I was there because they didn't have any.
Well, there you go. So this is good. And you know what I would have loved? They're all out there with their significant others in the ad campaign. I would have loved it if just two teammates did it together as well.
That would have been fun.
But in, like, the same poses. Maybe like the prom pose. Where they
Step
go
Brothers
behind
pose.
each other, the Step Brothers. It would have been great.
Okay, so we're on side with the Lululemon
Yeah,
collab.
absolutely. I would love to get some Lululemon merch. It'd be great.
Okay,
I think I think Lululemon honestly nailed it for the Olympics. I think they're nailing it for this. I think.
I don't like the bacon strip one, but
No, but hey, you know.
but
whatever.
in terms of quality, like, I have Lululemon stuff that's like 10 years old.
Yeah. Oh,
and it looks
lasts.
like I bought it last week.
And the thing is, like, guys are now being a lot more comfortable buying Lululemon. Like, my dad, all of my dad's favorite shirts are Lululemon.
They're dress pants,
He's like a 65-year-old man, and he's
but the
like,
Lululemon
yeah.
men's dress pants are
They're great.
absolutely incredible. Tom Fitzgerald wears them all the time.
I have to get new running tights because it's about to get really cold. I'm going to Lululemon for it.
Do it.
You know, it's gonna be great. Rachel, you're German, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you do never shut up about it. So you are German.
We're recording this podcast while Bayern Munich is playing, for the record.
Okay. Wiederhosen.
Okay, that's not a word,
That's not a
but
word.
okay.
It's Lederhosen and Wiener Schnitzel or whatever.
Jesus.
Anyway.
Okay.
But there is a word in your ridiculous language
Yeah.
that refers to, I believe it is, the feeling you get when bad things happen to bad people.
Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude. I like that feeling.
Okay.
And I'm not going to let anyone tell me that I'm not allowed to enjoy that feeling.
I know where this is going.
Because, like, one of the greatest moments in sports happened on Sunday.
Mike
When
and
Deshaun
I are
Watson-
so aligned on this.
When serial, like, criminal.
Allegedly.
Alleged serial criminal, Deshaun Watson, went behind center and exploded his Achilles for the world to see. His season is over, and honestly, likely his career is over.
How's that $236 million feel?
I mean, I'm sure it feels good, but he's done. Now, here's the thing about
Couldn't
this.
have happened to a better guy.
Exactly. Now, here's the thing. The only reason why we're talking about this is because after the game, there was a lot of sort of pearl clutching, I want to say virtue signaling about, oh, well, you never want to cheer for another team's players to be injured. You want to cheer for injuries. And I understand that when it's like when like for example Kevin Durant in the finals.
Mike Evans, Chris Godwin on Monday night.
By the way, feet are not supposed to be in that direction.
No.
With Chris Godwin. There have been 2 injuries this year in the NFL that have made me like throw up in my mouth, like literally.
Yeah, like actually squeeze.
It was Chris Godwin's ankle, where like literally it's almost like Looney Tunes. Like he's on the ground and he's got one foot in a normal way and one foot is just the opposite direction.
It's not cute.
It's crazy.
Don't look it up.
The other one, excuse me, the other one is Aiden Hutchinson's broken leg.
Okay, yeah, no, we're not talking about that. I almost passed out.
Do you remember slap bands?
Yeah.
It was like he used his femur as a slap band on another man's leg. It was brutal.
My favorite tweet about Aiden Hutchinson was like, is he going on IR? Like, what do you think?
Do you think it hurt? Like, it's like my favorite is when I see like a video of like, I don't know, like.
So like my philosophy on this Deshaun Watson thing is like, I'm not going to actively cheer and hope that he gets hurt every single time he pops up on Red Zone.
I do.
However, when he does get hurt, I'm certainly not upset about it.
I Googled, can Achilles tears be fatal after that happened? And you know what? Apparently in rare cases they can. So I want to know, how rare are we talking? How rare are we talking here?
Well, somebody was like, it's such a shame his career might be over. And all the comments underneath were like, oh no, anyway.
It's so because like literally like LeBron came out and was like, oh, we can't cheer for people because the stadium cheered when he like that's how
also,
you know.
Myles Garrett, who smashed a helmet over Mason Rudolph's head, and Jameis Winston,
who also has
allegations,
sexual misconduct allegation against him,
coming out. Listen, you can say, hey, I wasn't a big fan of the cheering, but let's maybe dial it back, Jameis Winston, with he's been, or Myles Garrett, he's been a model citizen.
No, my favorite was, he's been a model citizen through college and most of the pros. That's what he said.
Is doing a lot of work there.
Do you think?
And the thing is like, with Deshaun Watson, there are so many, regardless of if he's been criminally liable or not, the NFL found enough evidence to suspend him for an entire season.
Like 11 games.
And a bunch of the league decided that they wanted nothing to do with him.
Well, there's also another lawsuit. Like at this point,
it just doesn't end.
At this point, there have been upwards of 30 women who have either come forward or have said they had planned to come forward, but have either been bullied out of it or have chosen to stay silent because their lives would be upturned, at least in a public sphere.
And the thing is like one or two allegations, I could see how other people, not me, I'm always believe survivors, I could see how other people would be skeptical. 30 people is not...
Like, that's a pattern, and they're all the same thing.
At some point, this is a trend. And so, the thing is, I am certainly not actively cheering for dudes to get hurt, but there are some, very few.
I'm cheering for one dude to get hurt, and he just did. And that's great. Deshaun Watson.
And also the Cleveland Browns, the Cleveland Browns deserve this. Yeah,
well, Deshaun Watson allegedly, went on a crime spree that made the likes of like the Joker or like Diddy. Like it's
Diddy, oh my God.
Like you literally have Diddy taking snaps behind center and you're coming out and being like, oh no, he's a good guy. The reports are that most of his team hates him. He has been statistically, the worst quarterback in the NFL since he signed that deal.
No, so here's the thing, which is why I don't feel bad for the Browns, is it's very clear
they sold their soul.
That ownership is forcing their coach to play him because you could look at the numbers, and if you just put Bailey Zappi there, or Joe Flacco, or anybody else, and they had those stats, they'd be out of the league.
Yeah.
And what did the Browns do? They opted to get rid of Joe Flacco to sign this guy.
Well, they got rid
what's
of...
Joe Flacco doing now?
No, Rachel. No.
Like...
No. It's worse than that.
Oh, good.
Because they got rid of Baker Mayfield first
Right!
to sign him.
What's Baker doing now?
Baker's doing pretty well. And then on top of that, they then got rid of Joe Flacco
So you got rid of two good
to
dudes.
keep him around.
So not only two good dudes, two objectively better quarterbacks.
Do you want to know what the dead cap hit is? I think the injury will make things different now.
Right.
But you want to know what the dead cap hit was if they just wanted to cut him after the season?
Do tell.
It was $182 million.
That's literally triple,
That's half the cap.
almost triple the salary cap of the NHL.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It would have been $182 million
that's 2.5 times the NHL salary cap for one dude.
for one guy of dead space. Of
You know
dead
what's
cap.
going to be, you know what, we're going to institute a new scale.
What?
When we talk about bad contracts in the NHL, on a scale of 1 to Deshaun Watson,
Yes. It's
how
the
bad is the contract?
It is the worst.
Contract trade in
It's the
pro
worst
sports history.
transaction in sports history.
Oh, it's
Like,
overtaken Bobby Bonilla. It's overtaken Rick DiPietro. It's overtaken Alexei Yashin.
Those guys are chump change. Those guys are nothing. You talk about the assets that this team gave up, not just
CJ Stroud.
like
Literally CJ Stroud.
the amount and Will Anderson.
Anderson.
You basically built at last year. CJ Stroud was nominated for Offensive Rookie of the Year. He won it, and Will Anderson was nominated for Defensive Rookie of the Year.
And there's a non-zero chance that CJ Stroud wins an MVP at some point.
Oh yeah, and a Super Bowl MVP. Like you.
Also, I am a massive fan of CJ Stroud.
Yeah, me
like,
too.
President of the fan club.
My favorite thing about CJ Stroud is he's only in his second year in the league, and every time he faces a new like a rookie QB, he always talks about he'll get there, he'll be good.
you're like,
you know,
what?
like it's like, dude, you're like 20. Like, but anyway,
You're actually a child still, yeah.
like Deshaun Watson is an alleged like serial criminal. Like this guy was running around like 30.
Serial predator. Legit.
Oh, like this is like if I want you to put it in context of like To Catch a Predator, Chris Hansen. If someone came in and they were like, "How many victims do you have?" and it was like 30, that guy would be like given the electric chair, you know. So, and then they gave him. And by the way, the Browns sold their soul and not just traded like an entire sort of core of a team in terms of draft assets to get this guy, but they gave him the only $200+ million all fully guaranteed contract in NFL history, which pissed off every other owner in the league.
What's wild is like he got less. Patrick Mahomes got less percentage of guaranteed money than Deshaun Watson did, and we're already having conversations about Patrick Mahomes among the greats of the game.
So it's my like. Don't tell me that I cannot cheer for this guy. This guy is a bad human being.
Yeah.
This guy is an evil person.
Screw the Browns, screw Deshaun Watson, and screw everybody defending him.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, I don't care. And if you think that makes me a morally bad human being, then I think we probably need to have a conversation about morals in general, because that kind of behavior is indefensible under any circumstances. Like, it's just unacceptable, it's deplorable, and quite frankly, if I never have to watch Deshaun Watson on Red Zone again, I will be thrilled.
So on that note, Rachel,
let's talk about the Four Nations face-off jerseys.
Oh, we have to do that. Okay. Yeah, let's do that quick, because all I think that we really have to say about this
Sweden is Sweden.
Sweden is Sweden. It's fine. Like they know that every jersey they will ever wear is either going to be blue with
yellow crowns
or yellow with blue crowns.
And it's beautiful.
And
every single time.
And never change it. It's Trey Corona for a reason. Never change it. Every other team sucks. We saw 4.
The Canada jersey.
The Canada jersey
is so bad.
Like the Canada jersey, like what I love about it is like I wonder which country. It's 4 nations, right?
Yeah. There are 4 nations.
So there are only 4 nations. So I wonder what nation is the one with the with the maple leaf, the big maple leaf on the crest of their
And
of
the
their
red
jersey. I think we need. It's not obvious enough. I think we need to make sure that we spell out Canada in big Comic Sans letters.
Also in the shape of a smiley face.
Yeah, because Canadians are happy.
So here's the thing about that jersey. I looked at it and I'm like, I don't hate the jersey if you took the Canada out of the logo. I actually think it would have been...
It'd been fine.
Honestly, they just need to go back to the regular Hockey Canada jersey that they had years ago.
Or literally just use the Vancouver Olympics jerseys.
Forever.
And keep them. Like, I get that you want to sell like new variations of them every time or whatever, but like those are so those were.
You don't think people are gonna buy a McDavid one, a Bedard one? You're
those
gonna
were
sell
peak,
them,
dude. Those were peak. Like, just keep those. USA is like okay, but I always thought the USA like
Finland's is actually not bad.
But Canada's the real one where
It
it's
is
like,
so
and you should be
bad.
leading the pack here. Speaking of which, and I know we're talking about the jerseys, but there have been some absolutely, dare I say, absurd dark horse names to come out about Team Canada. There are two that have been reported.
No.
They've both been reported by Elliot Friedman.
Oh, so actually reported, not by
So actually reported.
like rumor man on Twitter.
So he said that I can't remember if it was on headlines or whatever, but he did say that he expects Tom Wilson to make the team.
What?
I'm not sure if you saw that.
No, I did not.
But the worst one...
That's already bad. What?
There's one that's even worse.
Okay.
I could not believe when I read this, because this was in 32 Thoughts, or I guess his 29 that he wrote.
I bet you I could name 30 Canadians that are better than Tom Wilson.
Do it.
But
Try
carry
off the
on.
top of your head. Try
Okay,
do it.
but give me the second name because I guarantee you
No.
it's worse.
I need you to name these names before, because you're gonna lose your mind when I tell you this name, because it was actually reported in 32 Thoughts. But
Okay, so like real.
let's go right now. See if we can name 30 players.
Okay.
Mitch Marner, Connor Bedard, Sidney Crosby, Connor McDavid.
Nathan McKinnon.
Yeah.
Matthew Barzal.
Yeah.
Mark Stone. Bo Horvat. Mark Scheifele.
That's 10.
I'm already at
Yeah.
10. Jonathan Marchessault.
Mm-hmm.
Let's Nick Suzuki.
Zach Hyman.
Ryan Nugent Hopkins. I'm literally just going through team Nazem Kadri.
Jonathan Huberdeau.
Jonathan Huberdeau. Wow.
We're talking about forwards, by the way. Like, this is just
I'm
forwards.
already at how many?
You're already at 16.
16?
Yeah.
Like,
We can
and
keep-
I haven't even gotten to defensemen yet.
No.
Okay, and then like John Tavares. I'm trying to think Steven Stamkos, Braden Point, Anthony Cirelli.
That's 20.
Okay. Let's go through Sam Reinhart. Easily Sam Reinhart.
Mm-hmm.
Seth Jarvis.
Sam Bennett.
Ryan
O'Reilly.
Okay, so we're like at 24 forwards.
We're at 24. We can... No, let's keep going. Like, I'm trying to...
Okay. Did I say Matthew Barzal?
Yes.
Okay. Alexis Lafreniere. I'm trying to think of who else on the Alex Tuck's American, Tage Thompson's American.
Tyler Bertuzzi.
No, I wouldn't say Tyler Bertuzzi.
You wouldn't say Tyler Bertuzzi is better than Tom Wilson right now?
No.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No, I wouldn't.
Max Domi?
Nope.
Is he technically American or Canadian?
Max Domi's Canadian.
Yeah, I just didn't know if he was born. Okay.
Yeah,
You would say Max Domi's not as good as Tom
Macklin
Wilson.
Celebrini.
Yeah, okay, Macklin Celebrini.
I'd honestly probably make the argument that there's draft eligible guys that maybe not at there now, but certainly in the discussion. But yeah, okay, so I'm at 26.
No, but we can keep going. I'm Ryan Nugent Hopkins.
I said Ryan.
Oh, you
Nugent
say
Hopkins.
RNH? Okay. I'm just gonna look at my fantasy team even.
There's just, it's outrageous that Tom Wilson would make a team, and I've just made
Cole Caulfield
is American.
Oh, he's American. Yeah, my
Nick
bad.
Suzuki's the Canadian.
And that as well.
Yeah, but we named him.
Did we?
Yeah, I did. Okay, so I made two.
Hold on.
Four. I made 8 lines of players before I got to Tom Wilson.
Travis Konechny.
Yes. absolutely Travis Konechny.
I'm going to keep going. Like, because we are going to hit 30 just to prove this. Like
And without defensemen. I said players.
Seth Jarvis?
I said Seth Jarvis.
Oh, you did? I didn't hear
Jordan
that.
Stahl.
Jordan Stahl. I'm just looking at waiver pickups in my fantasy league to see if that's
pickups.
possible. Like,
Yeah, there's nobody on Minnesota. We got Nashville. We covered Seattle. Oh, Jordan Eberle.
Jordan
There's
Eberle.
30.
There you go.
Comfortably.
There we go. We just got 30. The other one's it's gonna blow your mind because, and like I tweeted about it. Like it's real. Elliot Friedman took the time in 32 Thoughts to put at the bottom Team Canada Dark Horse : Adam Lowry.
What?
Adam Lowry.
I'm sorry. Kyle Dubas, Doug Armstrong, John Cooper, anybody involved in management, if you take Wilson or Adam Lowry over at least 20 of the forwards that we just named, you should lose your job immediately. That is unacceptable.
Out of 30 of the forwards that we just named, they're all better than both of those guys.
Comfortably. John Couturier, we didn't even name.
This is absurd. It's
I'm telling you right now,
yeah.
if either of those players gets taken over Connor Bedard, there is going to be a problem. Like a full-on problem.
Well, Team Canada already has garbage goaltending. Like it's going to be Aiden Hill as number one.
Aiden Hill,
or Jordan
Samuel
Binnington.
Montembeault.
The fact that Samuel Montembeault is in the conversation.
Embarrassing.
Like, I'm sorry. But the fact that anyone on the...
How far we've fallen. We had...
Carey Price.
Martin Brodeur.
Roberto Luongo. Patrick Waugh.
Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yeah.
Like, there was, on the 2010 Olympic team, 3 first ballot Hall of Famers.
Well, like...
How the mighty have fallen.
Like, Martin Brodeur started it and, like, performed subpar. So they replaced him with
Roberto Luongo.
While Marc-Andre Fleury watched from above. Even in 2014, like, Mike Smith was the third goalie, but 2014 Mike Smith was a freaking beast. Like,
yeah, and he was the third guy because Carey Price was there.
Yeah. So it's like if you take Adam Lowry or Tom Wilson, like what are you doing?
Go to jail.
Like this makes me not care about the tournament.
I don't trust you at that point.
This is like when Team USA took Justin Abdelkader over
like you're taking even
over prime Phil Kessel.
Even if you take use Adam Lowry, he's not even the best center on his Canadian center on his own team. Mm-hmm. And Mark Scheifele has his warts. This is well documented. Mm-hmm. But if you are going to make an argument to me that Adam Lowry is a better option at center than Sidney Crosby, Nathan MacKinnon, Connor McDavid, or Connor Bedard, you should lose your job before your sentence finishes.
It would scare the shit out of me if I was a
Bo
fan.
Horvat even.
Yeah, it would scare the shit out of me if I was a fan of either the Penguins or the Blues or even the Lightning, and those guys.
Speaking of, we didn't even name Jordan Kyrou or Robert Thomas.
Yeah.
So okay, what are we doing here?
And the guys who were in charge of my team picked Adam Lowry. Like it would scare the shit out of me. I'd be like, "What are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you doing?" Well, so there's the thing that gives me a little bit of solace is that John Cooper is the coach, and Anthony Cirelli plays for John Cooper, and so does Braden Point. So I think if we're going to take a quote unquote two-way guy that maybe shouldn't ought to be there, Braden Point deserves to be there. There is no doubt about it.
Definitely.
I think we can both agree that Anthony Cirelli is a better option.
Yeah.
By a wide margin.
Should go without saying. It's crazy.
Anthony Cirelli and, quite frankly, Bo Horvat. Bo Horvat is literally just better Adam Lowry. Now, in that he scores.
I'm glad that we
also
got that
the Abdelkader thing, my God.
Yeah, it's like that. Now, before we move on to our final 2 fun segments here, I have I have to find it again. and it goes on forever.
This is incredible. This is absolutely
It's my
incredible.
favorite thing in the whole world.
Okay, bookmark this tweet.
Oh, I without a doubt. Have I already bookmarked it?
No, I'm
Okay, bookmark
bookmarking
it then.
it because we're going to tweet that out. And that is...
For audio listeners who are not watching, like it's a regular, normal, like, you know, post-game media conference. Barry Trotz is up there. He's wearing like, you know, the very thin rectangle glasses. And every response is a picture of Mr. Krabs going like this with those glasses, and it looks exactly like him. And it is, if you keep scrolling, it is just that. But there's different. There's one of him eating lettuce for some reason.
There's one of them wearing a hat.
There's one of him wearing a Capitals hat. There's one that's just the picture but flipped the other way. Like
There's one upside down.
There's one upside down.
There's one black and white.
There's like I'm
amazing.
I'm still going. Like it's crazy. Yeah, there's one black and white. Like it is my favorite thing. There's one that's super close up.
Okay. I love Twitter for that reason.
Like that is the
that
has
was before
to be,
Twitter was bad.
Yeah, that was 2018. That was the best. That's the best comment section. Speaking of which, Rachel,
Yes.
you're not on TikTok very often unless you're like actively posting for us, basically. So sometimes
Right.
I feel
have
like
my own TikTok page, but I just...
yeah. So sometimes I feel like I need to like show you things. And
Okay.
this song has been everywhere on my page. And let me just put it in perspective. Like this is like the people who are performing this song, they're all white people. And they feel like they're bringing, you know, like funk and stuff back. But I want you to listen to this song. Like or listen to the snippet of this song and think, where would I hear this song play? And then I will tell you. But I want to see if you can guess.
Okay.
I'm gonna play it now.
We're going to play it.
These are all the people having fun, you know, recording it.
That is not what I pictured.
It's all white people, and look at the person. I want you to see the person who's singing that like crazy note, and what they're dressed in. Like it's like theater kid, all that. So
Okay, so when
you hear that song, what do you picture?
like, you know the movie Bring It On?
Yeah.
That's what I picture. Like the cafeteria where they're like shabuya. Like that is what I picture.
So I want you to close your eyes.
Okay.
I want you and I want to do a little audio experiment for you.
Oh no. Okay.
Here at Target, we have back to school savings left and right. It's Mazda's, you know, dream to win event. You have all talk, no text, all wireless, 50% off. This is a car commercial or a back to school commercial song. This is like it boggled my mind. The first thing I heard when I heard that song was this is a T-Mobile commercial song.
Yes.
This is like it's like welcome to Lexus December to Remember event. It's like like and I looked at the comments on the video and literally T-Mobile themselves were like, should we? Like
Amazing. Amazing. You know that song's going to be in a Super Bowl commercial, right?
Exactly. Like the comments are, we're about to get the craziest Old Navy commercial in history.
Yup.
It was the song is going to go crazy as a Target ad. Unlimited 5G data anywhere ad song. Get the new iPhone on us ask song. Someone's mom is going to love this song. Coworker music, final boss. It is like, I just saw this.
This is going to be like a Black Friday song.
New Samsung Galaxy Flip 7, only available in select stores. Song. Get this lunch deal for only $4.95. Song. It's like the song that's played in the bar in Star Wars that goes that one. Like it boggles my mind.
Outrageous.
I had to bring that up because I've never heard a song that sounded almost like it was made in a lab to be put in like a T-Mobile commercial.
Honestly, yeah, like we're gonna see that in the Super
Like that's
Bowl.
the kind of thing that plays like during like Sunday afternoon football, where
Yeah.
it's just like, yeah, get unlimited talk and text for $5.99 a month only at T-Mobile. America's fourth largest cellular network. Like it boggles my mind.
Love that America has 4 cellular networks.
Well, they have what?
Well, at least
T-Mobile,
4.
Sprint, AT&T, Verizon. There you go.
At least.
At least
They have a bunch.
The big 4 are those. But yeah, I had to share that with you. Anyway, Rachel, I believe we're at our lifeline now.
Can't wait. Relationship advice, please.
This is our relationship advice. And this is a
So,
good one.
if you missed last week's episode, we talked about a man who
We talked about a man who, during intimate times with his wife, would say goblin mode activated and go crazy, and then after say goblin mode off and pretend like he didn't remember
and the
what just happened.
DMs I got.
Yeah.
Somebody DM'd me, "Can I activate goblin mode with you?" First of all, what?
So, I'm not even going to read the title of it because I want to...
Okay.
Actually, no, I'm going to.
No. Surprise me.
Okay. This isn't a relationship advice. And by the way, we're going to do a couple, obviously, here, but if you have a scenario, like a relationship scenario or a life scenario...
Email pucksocialpod@gmail.com.
And we will break it down on the podcast. So this is female 21, so 21-year-old female, and my boyfriend, male 21, they're 21 years old,
Okay.
currently live together to being together for about 4 months.
Okay, so you're barely Wait, whoa. You live together at 21 after dating for 4 months?
It might be like a university thing where they basically
Okay, because
just
I was
like...
going to say,
yeah.
wow, that's fast.
To explain why we're living together at the 4-month mark, we started out as roommates but then started dating.
Oh, okay.
I have to say my BF has never been good at pet names. Some early ones were Little Stubster and Sour Meat.
What?
To
Okay.
put in context, one of my nicknames for him in comparison is Little Bird. Also a terrible pet name.
Okay, can we pause?
Okay?
Pet names that are appropriate.
Little Stubster got me.
We're gonna just throw
Okay.
some out here. Babe,
Yeah.
baby,
Sweetheart.
honey,
I'm a big my love or
My
or
love.
darling,
darling.
and that's about it.
Yeah. Or like if you have something that's like between the two of you, like sweetie pie.
Yeah, or like an inside joke,
Yeah.
So something
pumpkin.
tells me that Sour Meat or Little Stubster, they have to be inside jokes, otherwise crazy. But
Yeah.
anyway, about 2 weeks ago, he starts calling me Tony Pizza. This doesn't even make sense, and he uses it more often than my actual name. He is obsessed. It honestly bothers me that he can't even bother to find a somewhat nice nickname for me. I've had a couple of conversations about it, but he says he just can't think of anything better. Can't think of anything better
Okay.
than Tony Pizza. What do I do? Is this going to become a bigger problem, or should I even address it? I hate being Tony Pizza. And the title is My Boyfriend Won't Stop Calling Me Tony Pizza. Hey, Tony Pizza, get over here. Get over here and kiss this mouth. It's Tony Pizza.
Okay. We're gonna bring it together.
It's big sausage pizza. Me and Tony Pizza over here. Come bring those doughy lips over here. I'm Tony Pizza.
You feeling saucy?
I'm feeling saucy over here.
Okay.
I got a big old sausage for you on this Tony Pizza.
Okay. Well, that's so they're 21.
Yeah.
So my brother is 21.
Mm-hmm.
And he has some quirks.
Yeah.
I love him dearly. He's like my buddy, best buddy. If I ever heard him refer to his girlfriend as any of those names, I would slap him so hard. My handprint.
Sour meat?
So sour meat.
Like, what the fuck?
Why don't you just, like, that is bordering on insulting. Because,
Yeah, that's like derogatory.
yeah.
Why are you calling me sour?
Okay,
But-
so you and I, like, are single. Okay?
Thank you for reminding me.
You're welcome. So, when we're dating, like, under no circumstances is that remotely a thing.
It would be funny and it would be cute if she was A, into it, and B, it was like an inside joke.
So, you know what? My sister used to date this guy.
Yeah.
And they would have this inside thing that has now become a Dory family inside thing, where it was like, if you were eating a ridiculous amount of food, like one time my sister ate an entire Deep Delicious cake.
Yeah, of course.
Which, my sister weighs 92 pounds. Like, where did it
I
go?
could throw your sister like a Nerf football.
Yeah, like, my sister, again, God love her. Mike loves
believe
her.
me, I do love her. Yeah.
So, her ex-boyfriend goes, okay, Tubbo, as in tub of lard, because my sister weighs 92 pounds and is very clearly not a tub of
Yes.
lard. So, for her birthday, he got her a cake and had Tubbo painted on the cake, which is really funny. And so now, in the family, even though they're not together anymore, whenever somebody is like, I'm going to have another helping of XYZ, or I'm going to eat this whole bag of chips, somebody will be like, okay, Tubbo. So if it stems from that and you're like, sup, Tubbs, like, that's an inside thing, right? Tony Pizza?
It's just so funny. Like, it's so unimaginative, and like he keeps doing it, and she's like, I don't like it. He's like, hey, Tony Pizza.
That is grounds for dismissal.
But like,
That's grounds for dismissal.
But if it was like an inside joke, that's cute. That's funny. Like, it would, like, you know, can you imagine me like, my little Tony Pizza? You know,
No!
like it'd be fun and cute. But
there's no scenario where that would be an inside joke, though. Same with sour meat. That's the one that I can't comprehend.
it
Actually, you know what? Speaking of which, he did get broken up with over this.
your brother?
No,
Okay.
my friend in
Okay.
university called his girlfriend fish sticks. I was like,
Why?
what?
Did she like fish sticks?
Yes. So she ate fish sticks like it was her job. You know what I mean? Like, you know how I eat chicken
Probably
nuggets?
for the best. I think that they parted ways.
But you know how I eat chicken nuggets? If my significant other started calling me chicken nugget, I'd be like, no, you're not.
That would be no, but that would be funny.
But he called her fish sticks in front of everybody. So what
That's
I
not
want to
that
know,
bad.
what I want to know, well,
I would do that. For example, I remember being in high school and like my girlfriend at the time, we like making out. And she knew that I like really liked the Leafs, and especially Phil Kessel. So she like had a Phil Kessel jersey on.
Okay.
Not like it wasn't like a role playing thing.
Okay.
No. It was like
Whoa.
it was just like she had it, and I was just like, that's cool. Like,
Oh, okay.
You're hot. Let's make out. And
Dead.
But like as a joke, I like because she had a Phil Kessel, I was like, oh Phil, like in the middle of it,
That's funny.
and she
Okay,
was just
I'll give
like,
that to you.
what? Like like in the middle, you know,
See,
like
she doesn't understand her.
you know exactly.
But-
But
You can't. So my thing is if she liked the nickname Tony Pizza Sour Meat, whatever the hell, and you keep it between you guys, it's fine. The moment something like that is in public in front of everyone,
I'm even fine
It's
with
different.
it. I'm even fine with it being in public as long as she likes it. Like as long as you're okay with being called Tony Pizza. But she says in it, I hate being Tony Pizza.
so she doesn't even like it in private. So it's especially not okay publicly,
He's clearly at this point just doing it because he knows it annoys her.
and that's grounds for dismissal.
Yeah.
First of all, hit him. We're not advocating for violence, but there are certain exceptions, and this is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
You're not calling your girlfriend Tony Pizza.
I just think it's very
Although,
funny.
Halloween costume idea.
Tony
He's
Pizza.
a Tony, and she's the pizza.
He dresses as Tony Soprano, and she dresses as a slice of pizza. And there you go. I think it's very funny. But it gets like this person genuinely seems really distraught that she keeps being called Tony Pizza.
I would be pretty pissed.
And so like if you are not even like pissed, but it's like, she's just like, I just don't like it, and like I want us to have cute pet names together, and he keeps calling me Tony Pizza.
She wants like babe, sweetheart, honey.
Or like,
and
hey,
he's
my
like,
little like Boo Bear or whatever, you know.
Right.
Like, so she wants some like really cringy, sappy stuff, which is fine.
My
because,
ex-boyfriend called me Boo because my favorite childhood movie, or one of, is Monsters, Inc.
Yeah, but I still hate that.
And I was like, I don't love that, but he didn't do it in front of everyone. He did it at home.
The thing is, even if she wants some super cringe, like, you know, my little honey bear, like whatever, like, here's the thing, man. A happy wife, happy life. And I think
Okay, so what do you like being called?
Sweet.
For God's sake, Michael.
No, I don't know. I like, you know what I like being called? Back.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I don't like that. Don't ever contact me. No, I like, I don't know, like babe is fine. Like,
Because there's
darling,
some people that are like, I need like Casanova or whatever. I'm like,
what the
the hell?
What
People
the
are fucking weird,
no,
man.
no.
Go to jail.
No. What? No. I've never in my entire life heard anyone call someone else like in an unironic
In a public setting.
Public setting Casanova.
Oh man, I've heard some real tough ones.
That makes me want to kill myself. That is brutal.
I've heard bear.
I'm going to be honest with you, Rachel. I'm so out of the game that I don't even know what I like to be
So
called anymore.
okay, so nicknames is one thing. The one thing I absolutely hate though.
What?
I despise being called Rach. You know this
Oh,
about
I know. I've done it, and you've been like, don't ever
Please.
do that again.
My former employers used to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Unless, like, I can count the people on one hand that I'm okay with them calling me Rach, and that's because when I was a child, like in kindergarten, elementary school,
Yeah.
They're my best friends, or it's my uncle, and it's stuck because that's been the thing. If I just met you, and I'm always a proponent of I'll call you what you introduce yourself to me as. So if I say my name is Rachel, I expect you to call me Rachel.
Oh,
If you say my name is Mike, I'm going to call you Mike. If you say my name is Michael, I will call you Michael.
I made that mistake at my job where I was like, I'll be formal, and I introduced myself as Michael. Now everyone calls me Michael, and I'm just like, that's weird. It sounds too formal.
When do I call you Michael?
When I'm in trouble.
Yeah, or when I'm like, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah,
like,
which means I'm in trouble. So,
but it's the thing on TikTok right now where it's like you say their full name, like middle name too.
Yeah.
You are dead. But I can't stand being called Rach. It really, for whatever reason, it really bothers me. Like, just call me by my name.
What if I were to call you, instead of Rachel, what if I were to call you Hard R? How about that?
What? Just like Ruh?
Oh, like if I call your nickname was Hard R, do you think that would go over well?
No.
Or
The
like,
big M.
Is R Dog too close to Raw Dog?
R Dog? Honestly,
It's
I
too
think
much.
I would prefer R Dog to Rage from you. But like, if someone random on the street was like R Dog,
Yeah, R Dog. I'd
go
be
to
like,
jail.
what the f- did you just say to me? Like,
What did you just say?
Yeah. Well, on that note, before we head out, we just want to ensure and shout out our charity of choice. It's Jumpstart, helps economically disadvantaged kids play team sports, which is a cause that's been so near and dear to Rachel and I's hearts for so long, and we're so happy to continue this sort of partnership as them being our charity of choice. We love it so much. Canadian Tire Jumpstart. All the links will be in the description of this episode if you would like to donate to help economically disadvantaged kids play team sports. It's a great cause, and we would highly recommend that you do so because, you know, it's such an important thing in a child's life to be able to do. So please go to those links, donate if you can. It's really making a difference in someone's life. And on that note, Rachel, I think we will leave it because I am hungry and I want to go home and eat. And then I have to run.
Are you gonna eat a Tony pizza?
I'm going to get Tony Beats over here. We'll see you next week. Have some sauce.